So good afternoon, everyone. Uh, just a minute, let me share my today's presentation. Is this screen clearly visible to all of you? Just write in the chat box. Okay, so let's start today's class. And today we are going to study very important topic of Unit 1, the DFA and NFA. So as you can see on your screen, DFA is basically the full form of DFA is deterministic finite automata. So deterministic refers to the uniqueness of the computation. It means that the finite automata are called deterministic finite automata if the machine is read an input string one symbol at a time. So basically, as all of us know, that deterministic means that a specific goal or a specific thing is there. So deterministic means the same thing. It means if any transaction is there in any state, then um, it can move to the particular state. So in DFA, there is only one path for a specific input from the present state to the next state. So remember this point, that there is only one path from the present state to the next state. That's why it is called as the deterministic finite automata. DFA does not accept null moves. This is very important. Null or empty string we already studied in our first class. It is null move, or the epsilon string is denoted by the epsilon symbol. This symbol is known as the epsilon, and it means the empty string or null move. So DFA does not accept the null move. Just remember it. Only the NFA accept the null moves, but DFA does not accept the null move. That is, DFA cannot change state without any input character. The next point is DFA can contain multiple final states. So um, this is common in DFA as well as in NFA, that they can contain multiple final states for accepting the string. And the last point is DFA is used in lexical analysis phase in a compiler. So basically, the compiler design is a subject which you will going to study in your fifth semester exam or a fifth semester syllabus, and this DFA is used in the lexical analysis phase of the compiler. So this is the use of the DFA. So this is the theory behind the DFA. Now let us discuss it in some detail with some examples. So just a minute, some other participants are waiting in the lobby, so I am allowing them. Just a minute. So moving on. So as you can see this diagram on your screen, so here there are three states. As you can see, this is the Q naught, then the Q1, and then the Q2 states are there. So this Q naught is the initial state, is the initial state. And here it is it is an example of DFA. As you can see here, uh, from the state Q naught for input A. For input A, we can move to Q1 state on getting this input A. So there is only one path which is going to Q1. This path. Similarly, from Q naught, from this Q naught, there is only one path for input B. This is input B going to Q2. So that's why this type of automata or this type of machine is called as the DFA, deterministic finite automata, because on getting the input A, we can reach to Q1 state, whereas on getting the input B, we reach to the Q2 state. So that's why determinism is there. And here this machine is of type where we get only the first symbol as the A input symbol, because here final state is denoted by the double circle mark, and Q1 is the final state here, but Q2 is not the final state, and this type of state is called as the dead state, because after reaching this state we cannot move backward, and even also we cannot move to the final state. So such type of state is called as the dead state, and dead state is only present in the DFA, and this type of state is not present in the NFA. So remember this point. So now the next topic is formal definition of DFA. So whatever we studied, it is called the informal definition, and this and we will going to study the formal definition of DFA. So a DFA is a collection of 5 tuples. So tuples means rows, rows in a column row table. So basically, it is a DFA is a collection of 5 tuples, same as we described in the definition of the finite automata in our previous class. So the previous class videos are already available in the college YouTube channel, and you can refer the previous class videos from there. So these are the 5 tuples. So the first tuple is denoted by capital Q, which denotes the finite set of states. Then the second tuple is denoted by the sigma symbol, which denotes the finite set of input symbol. Then the third tuple is denoted by a small q naught. It denotes the initial state. Initial states mean the starting state of the machine. So here, as you can see in the diagram, this q naught is the initial state as the machine starts from here. So this arrow symbol, as you can see here, this arrow symbol denotes the starting state. The fourth the fourth tuple is the denoted as the capital F, and it denotes the final state or final states, because it may be possible that a machine can have more than one final state. And the last tuple is denoted by the delta symbol. Delta means the transition function. So this function is different for every machine. Just note that. And but this transition function is having a certain type of formula. This is the formula for the DFA. So it means that the left hand side of the arrow is the input. It is input, and the right side of the arrow, it is the output. So the transition function denotes that Q cross sigma gives Q. It means the state with the input symbol will give us the output, the state. So these are the 5 tuples, and the most important of these tuples is the transition function, and this is the formula for DFA. So you need to remember this formula. So all of you understand it till now, just write in the chat box so that we can proceed further. Okay. Now the next topic is graphical representation of DFA. So a DFA can be represented by digraph called the state diagram or the state transition diagram. So this type of diagram we already discussed in our last class, but but this type of here we are discussing the specific type of diagram related to DFA. So here, as you can see, we will discuss it according to points. So the states is represented by vertices. So here we have three states Q1, sorry, Q2, Q1, and Q2. So these are the three states. So these are represented by the vertices of the graph. You already studied the graph in your data structure and algorithm subject, that the vertices are denoted by circles. So the arc labels with an input character show the transition. So these are the arcs label, means the arrow, the line with the arrows, these are the arcs level. So these are represented as the input character. So here, from Q0 to Q1 we have the input 1, and from Q0 to Q2 state we have the input 0. So we need to write the inputs in the input character in the arc label. The next point is the initial state. The initial state is marked with an arrow. So how to identify which of these states is the initial state? So as you can see here, in the Q naught state, this is the arrow which is pointing to the Q naught, and this is the initial state. And whereas in the other state, all the arrow are from the Q naught in the case of Q1, and in the case of Q2 state, the arrow is from the Q naught state, whereas the Q naught state is having the arrow which comes from nowhere. So that's why the Q naught state is called as the initial state. And last, the final state is denoted by the double circle. So out of these state, which state is the final state? As you can see here, out of these three states, only Q1 is there, which is having the double circle. So that's why this state is called as the final state. So this is how we represent graphically the DFA. So just remember it. In a DFA there has to be a initial state is there, so only one state is considered as the initial state. However, there can be one or more than one final states are there. And the final states are denoted by the double circles. So that's how we represent the DFA in a graphical way. So I think all of you understand it, how we can represent the DFA graphically. So moving on to the next topic. So let us discuss some examples related to the DFA. So how we can solve the DFA. So in the example one, we have given this uh, these values that Q is having three states from Q naught, Q1, Q2. Then input symbol is having with the two symbols 0 and 1. Q naught, which is known as the initial state, is having Q naught as the initial state, and F, which denotes the final state, Q2 is the final state. So we are given the values of the four tuples, and now this is our transition function, which will give the value of the fifth tuple. So a diagram is given. A table is given. So here in the table there are three columns are there. The first is the present state, then the next state we are getting after input for input 0, and in the third column we are getting the next state of input 1. So here, So we need to use this information and draw the diagram, means draw the DFA. So here, from the transition table, we note that the Q naught is the initial state. Also here, the Q naught is given as the initial state. So initial state has been denoted with this arrow symbol in order to identify that this is the initial state. So we are at the Q naught. On getting the input 0, we are still at the Q naught state, and on getting the input 1, we move to the state Q1. So this we need to represent in a diagram. So I am just disclose the diagram. You want first, I will give you 2 minutes so that you all will try to draw the diagram by yourself. So just try to draw the diagram by yourself in a copy. All the things are given to you. You need to draw the DFA, the transition diagram of a DFA. And whoever completes it, just write in the chat box. So only last minute remaining. Just do it fast. Okay, time is over. Now I am explaining the answer, but all of you need to go through the previous lectures. If you uh, go through the previous lectures, then any one of you can solve it very easily. So let's discuss the solution. So as the given as all the things are given to you, and this is the delta, means the transition function. So first here, we need to concentrate on the initial state. So here initial state is q naught, which is denoted with the arrow symbol, and here also we can know that initial state is q naught. So after getting input 0, we can move to q naught. It means we are at the same state. uh, After reaching the q naught, means you need to draw the diagram like this. Q naught, first you are only at the initial state, and after getting 0 you are at the q naught, after getting 0 input. So after getting input 1, you can move to the q1 state. So after getting 1, you move to the q1 state. So this is the q1 state. So after getting 1, you move here. So now the both the transitions, or both the 0 and 1 inputs of q naught is completed. So now we need to move to the q1 state. So at the q1 state, on getting input 0, you need to move to the q2 state on getting the 0 input. So q2 state is there. Then also here, from this information, you know that q2 is the final state. So it means that the q2 is being encircled with the double circle, because it is the final state. So on getting input 0 at q1, we move to the q2 state. So we move to the q2 state on getting 0 input, and on getting input 1, we move to the q1 state. It means self loop is there, because we are at the same state on getting 1. Now we need to complete it with the q2 state. So on getting input 0, we are at the q2 state, and also at input 1 we are at the q2 state. So a self loop is there in the q2, with showing 0 comma 1, because at for input 0 and input 1 we are at the q2 state. So this is the actual diagram. And now all of you understand it. By getting the information given, you need to draw the DFA, deterministic finite automata. So all of you understand it, how we need to draw the DFA graphically. Just write in the chat box. And sometimes reverse is also given. Sometimes you are given this type of diagram, and you need to find out the transition table from this type of transition diagram. So both type of questions can be asked in your examination. Sometimes transition table is given, and you need to draw the transition diagram from this transition table, and the other type of question is transition diagram is given, and you need to find out the transition table from the transition diagram. So this is the way from which you can find out the transition diagram from the transition table. So moving on. So this type of figure is also possible, whatever we discussed. So this type of you can take uh, all the three states in a single line, or you can take all the states in a triangular form, or in some other form also. So let's discuss example. Second example. So we need to draw a DFA with sigma is given, 0, 1 are the input symbols, which accepts all strings starting with 0. So it means we need to draw a DFA in which it starts with the strings which is starting with 0 and not 1. So Here we also have three states, Q0, Q1, and Q2. So, starting with the initial state Q0, on getting input 0, we move to the final state Q1, because all the steps, the states which starts with 0 are the final state. So that's why the Q1 is the final state. And on getting the input 1, we can reach to the dead state or the non-final state. So this type of diagram can be formed with the DFA. So this is the dead state. After getting the input symbol 1, we if we reach Q2, then this is the dead state, and after getting input symbol 0, we get to the final state. So so our language will becomes the our accepting language will become 0, means we can reach from Q0 to Q1, then double zero, then 0 1, and all the strings which starts from 0 are accepted through this language. So so this type of diagram is there for which accepts the string which is starting from 0. So all of you understand it, just write in the chat box so that we can proceed further. Okay. So this is the explanation written, or you can also write the explanation in your examination, that in this diagram we can see that on given 0 as input to the DFA in state Q0, the DFA changes state to Q1, as you can see here. On getting 0, the DFA changes state from Q0 to Q1, and always go to the final state Q1 on starting input 0. So it can accept strings like the 0001, 000, 001, etc. So all the strings which are starting from 0 are accepted uh, from this DFA, and it can't accept any string which starts with 1, because it will never go to the final state on a string starting with 1. So this type of explanation you can give while writing your answer. Now moving to the next question. Now in this question, a DFA with sigma 01 accepts all ending with 0. So here we need to draw a diagram in which all the strings which ending with 0 will be there. So here it can be done through two states only. So here, as you can see in the diagram, we can see that on given 0 as input to DFA in state Q0, the DFA changes its states to Q1. So as you can see here, Q0 is the initial state. On getting input 0, it goes to the Q1 state. So Q1 is the final state. So it can accept any string which ends with 0, like these are the string 00, 10, 110, 100, etc. It means at the end we have to get a 0 in order to accept this string. So this 0 will help us. This is in the loop. So first it accept the language 0, then it will accept the language 0, 00, then 000 also are accepted, and it will also accept the language which starts with 1, like 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. All the strings are also accepted, but uh, here the we need to find the language which ends with 0. So here all the strings which ends with 0 are accepted. It The other point is that we need to take care of it can't accept any string which ends with 1. So here the Q1 does not have 1, because if the state Q1 have 1, then it will also accept the string which have 1. So we need to move back the Q1 input 1 to the Q naught state, because it will never go to the final state Q1 on one input. So the string ending with 1 will not be accepted or will be rejected. So that's how we need to draw the DFA with this condition, the which accept the string which all ending with 0. So just try to understand this diagram. So all of you understand it, just write in the chat box. Or you can also write any problem you are facing in understanding this question. Avinash, do you understand the question, the solution of the question? Okay, so let's proceed further. Now the next topic is NFA, or it can or the short form of it is NFA or NDFA. So it is popularly known as non-deterministic finite automata. So it is doing the reverse function of the deterministic finite automata. So it is easy to construct an NFA than DFA for a given regular language. So the next point is that the finite automata are called NFA when there exist many paths for a specific input from the present state to the next state. It means in case of NFA, we are non-deterministic. It means if we are getting a 0 as the input, we cannot determine whether on getting 0 as input, we are at the Q naught state itself or moving to the Q1 or Q2 state. So every NFA is not DFA, but each NFA can be translated into DFA. So this is the important point which we are going to discuss in our later slide. So the next point is very important. NFA is defined in the same way as DFA, but with the following two exceptions. So here these 2 points are more important. In case of NFA, it contains multiple next states by getting the input symbol, and it contains epsilon transitions. This is the epsilon transition, means null moves are allowed in the case of NFA, but null moves are not allowed in the case of DFA. So remember this important point. So moving on. So in the following diagram, we can see that from state Q naught. So Q naught is the initial state, Q1 is the final state, and Q2 is the other state, which is non-final state. So we can see from state q naught for input A. As you can see here, we are at the q naught initial state is we are at the initial state. On getting input A, there are two states, q1 and q2. On getting input A, there are two states. We can move to either q1 or we can move to either q2. So this type of non-determinism is there, means we are not sure, or there cannot be a definite path on getting the input A. So that's why this type of automata or this type of machine is called as the non-deterministic finite automata. So similarly, from q naught for input B, the next states are q naught and q1. So here, as you can also see in this example, on getting input B, we are at the we can reach at the q naught itself, or we can also reach q1 from this B. So this type of, if a machine is of this type, then this type of machine is called as the non-deterministic finite automata. So only 5 minutes are remaining. So moving to the next. So this is the informal definition of NFA. So the formal definition of NFA, just like the DFA, is having 5 tuples. So the tuples are basically the same. The Q means the finite set of states. The sigma means the finite set of input symbol. Q naught the initial state. F the final state, and delta means transition function. But here, as you can see, the transition function is different in case of DFA and NFA. So this is the formula of transition function in case of NFA. So this is on the left of this arrow, this is the input, and on the right side of this arrow, this is the output. So this is the output. So here, as you can see, on the input side, q cross sigma is there, and on the output side, 2 to the power q. It means that if you are having three states, means q naught, q1, and q2 are the three states, then 2 to the power 3 means you can have 8 possible outputs in the case of NFA. Uh, it is showing the maximum possible output, but it can be maximum or less than the maximum. So just remember this type of conversion. If you have two states in your machine like q naught and q1, then 2 to the power 2 means 4 states can be possible in the case of outputs. So just remember in the case of just remember this transition function in the case of NFA. So let's discuss this last topic for today's class, graphical representation of NFA. So NFA can be represented by diagrams called state diagraph. So so these are the 4 points. These 4 points are basically the same as that of the DFA. So the states is represented by vertices. The arcs, these are the vertices. The q naught and q1 are the two states here. The arc labeled with the input character show the transitions. So here, as you can see, these are the arcs, and here the input character, the 1 is showing here, and also 0 and 1 are showing in this arc. These are showing the input character. The initial state is marked with the arrow. So here this arrow is there to mark the initial state q naught, and the final state is denoted by the double circle. So this q1 is there to denote the final states. So as you can see here, that the q naught on getting input 1 reaches to q1, but there is no transition of q naught on getting input 0. So that's why it is called as the NFA. Whereas in the case of DFA, we need to also draw the zero input transition in the case of the q naught, because DFA is the complete system, whereas NFA is not the complete system. So that's all for today's class. So thank you very much for attending this class. So I will upload this video lecture on the college YouTube channel today. So you can access this class from the college YouTube channel. So thank you very much. Now you can leave this meeting.